Stand by for manual transmission. In 3, 2, 1.
Karen, how long have we been doing this?
If by this, you mean how long have we been running passenger missions from Robigo Mines in the Robigo system to the Sirius atmospheric stores beacon in the Sothis system, then we have been doing this for just over 3 hours.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. And you know, Karen, your intelligence might be artificial, but that snark sounds all natural.
Why, yes, it is. Thank you for noticing.
So, what have we accomplished during those 3 hours?
We have attained allied status with the Sirius Corporation. This is necessary for procuring a Sirius system permit. We have also earned about 220 million credits and accumulated 19 of the 25 modular terminals needed to unlock Marco Qwent.
When's the last time we got any modular terminals offered as a mission reward?
That would be 1 hour and 22 minutes ago. At that time we received a total of 7 modular terminals for completing 3 separate missions.
Holy crap! So what do you have to do to get the last 6 to spawn? Blow RNGesus?
Yes, that will work. But first, you're gonna have to lose that helmet. Don't be shy.
What? Oh, sorry, dude. That was a joke. So, you do that a lot?
Oh no, of course not. I was joking too. I really had you going, didn't I? Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna be playing Battletech Iron Man mode a little bit later. If I needed a headshot clutch...
Oh yes, I will be around.
Dun 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 dun. 07 Commanders, Nuggets, and Empty Triangles. Mando Dextra here with Chapter 7 of my ultimate guide to bounty hunting. In the last episode, we did the hardest and most time-consuming parts of unlocking Professor Palin. That is, traveling more than 5,000 light-years from our starting point and collecting 25 units of Thargoid sensor fragments. We also took the time to max out storage on some high-grade raw engineering materials at the galactically famous Crystal Shard forests. Just a heads up for commanders. If you haven't been to the Crystal Shard sites yet, you might want to do that thing before Odyssey drops on the 19th of May 2021, because there's a very real chance these sites could get erased when the new planets are generated in Stellar Forge during the update. You can check out Chapter 6 of this guide for specific locations. In this chapter, I'll show you the best way to drive over the very last speed bump between us and those juicy Professor Palin thruster upgrades, Marco Qwent. Marco Qwent, aka this fucking guy, is the one engineer nobody in the galaxy asked for. His base is in a permit-locked system 7,000 light seconds from the jump-in point, and he offers power distributor engineering to grade 3 and power plant engineering to grade 4. That's it. He's the invention of some bored and/or sadistic game dev at Frontier, and his sole purpose is to add more grind to the already grindy engineering process. But don't worry, your old Uncle Manus has done this before, and he's going to show you the most efficient and lucrative way to get Marco Qwent unlocked so that he can introduce us to Professor P, and then we never have to deal with this loser ever again. As you've probably guessed from the intro, we're going to do it all by running VIP passenger missions from Robigo Mines to the Sirius Atmospherics tourist beacon in the Sothis system. To get this done, we're using a modified version of my original Robigo Runner Python build. Check the description for a link to my original video and a Coriolis Shipyard link to the build used here. And while you're there, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Elite Dangerous content. It only takes a moment, but it really helps to keep your old Uncle Manus in malt liquor and donuts. So way back before the Great Combat Bounty Hunting rebalance, running passenger missions from Robigo mines was the best way to earn money outside of mining. Depending on things like your exploration rank, sightseeing passenger missions count as exploration, and your rep with local factions, you can still make between 50 and 100 million credits per hour this way. However, since the combat rebalance, a commander with decent combat skills and an easy engineered combat ship can make as much or even more money doing Massacre missions, and for me, that's a lot more fun. But at present, money isn't our top priority. Right now, we need to be allied with the Sirius Corporation so we can get a permit for the Sirius star system. Now, depending on how long you've been playing the game, this may or may not be an issue for you. A while back, all commanders were issued a temporary Sirius system permit as part of a community goal. If you participated in that CG and finished in the top 75%, you were allowed to keep the permit permanently. You can check to see if you have one in the right side panel as shown. If you don't have the permit, don't worry. Once allied with Sirius Corporation, getting a system permit is as easy as checking a mission board and accepting and completing a mission to take the permit. You can do this at Davy Dock in the Procyon system after we're done here. If you've been following this guide, then you should have saved all your exploration data from the 5,000 light-year trip we did in the last chapter. Now it's time to sell that data at Robigo Mines. You should have several million credits in data to sell, and since Robigo Mines is controlled by the Sirius Corporation, selling the data here will give us a big reputation boost with them and help us to become allies that much faster. The other reason we're doing passenger missions in Robigo is to collect the 25 modular terminals needed to unlock Qwent. Unlike many engineering-related commodities, modular terminals take up actual cargo space. This is a pain in the ass, and it's also the reason why we have a single Class 5 cargo rack. Modular terminals can only be acquired in one of two ways. If you're very lucky, you might be able to find them for sale on a player-owned fleet carrier. You can actually use the search commodity tool on Inara to find fleet carriers with stock. I'll put a link in the description. However, if you aren't lucky enough to find any for sale, you can still collect them the old-fashioned way by earning them as part of a mission reward. This is what we're doing here. As built, my new Robigo Runner can take 6 VIP missions at a time. That's 6 chances to book missions offering modular terminals each trip, and when modular terminals aren't available, you can still make lots of money and collect high-grade engineering materials this way. When you're in the passenger lounge looking for missions, you'll want to check the descriptions to see which missions offer modular terminals or other valuable goodies, such as exquisite focus crystals and biotech conductors. As I mentioned in the intro, it took me about 3 hours or so to get all 25 terminals, but I also made well over 200 million credits, and I banked a lot of high-grade data and manufactured engineering materials, so this is definitely not a waste of time. I will say it did seem like the spawn rate for modular terminals has been nerfed since the last time I did this. I don't think I found a single mission offering more than 3 of these things at a time, which is why it took so long to accumulate 25 of the things. If anyone knows of a better place to run missions for modular terminals, let me know in the comments. So let's take a quick look at our new and improved Robigo Runner in Coriolis. As you can see, there are only 2 engineered modules for this build. The first one is the Class 6A thrusters engineered to Grade 3 dirty drag drives. This modification is available from Felicity Farseer, but it's completely optional. So if you don't have the engineering materials on hand, you can skip this one. The only other module that's engineered is the FSD. And this one is a lot more important because it gives us a jump range of just over 30 light years. This is necessary to allow us to make the trip between Robigo and Sothis in only 2 jumps, letting us save time, make more trips, and maximize profits. This FSD is special and only available from human technology brokers. Again, if you've been following this guide, you should already have one of these, and you'll just need to swap it over from the DBX we built in the last chapter. If you don't already have this module, check out Chapter 6 of this guide for specific information on how to get one. Even if you have a Sirius permit and you manage to buy your modular terminals from a fleet carrier, running these VIP missions is still a great way to keep your supply of high-grade data and manufactured engineering materials topped off. Personally, I would much rather collect materials this way since it doesn't require logging in and out of the game to refresh locations like you're forced to do at Dave's Hope and the Jameson crash site. Obviously, if you're just doing these missions for money and engineering materials, you can swap out the Class 5 cargo rack for another passenger cabin. At any rate, once you're allied with the Sirius Corporation and have 25 modular terminals collected, you're ready to go see Marco Qwent. If you don't already have the Sirius system permit, now's the time to get it by going to Davy Dock in the Procyon system as previously described. If you already have the system permit, then you're finally ready to pay a visit to Professor Palin's doorman. However, you don't want to do this more than once because it's a long flight and we've already spent too much time on this guy. So listen up as your old Uncle Manus drops another wisdom bomb on you. Before Qwent will introduce you to the professor, you'll need to get Grade 3 access with him by letting him engineer something for you. But bless his mediocre heart, Qwent only engineers power distributors to Grade 3 or power plants to Grade 4, so our options are limited. If you've been following this guide, you already have access to the Dweller with his Grade 5 power distributor engineering, so I would recommend going for a power plant upgrade. I took the opportunity to overcharge the power plant on my DBX to Grade 4 since it was a bit undersized to save mass and increase jump range in the original build. Whatever you decide to upgrade, just make sure you bring all the materials you need beforehand to gain level 3 access, since that's what we need to unlock Professor Palin. After that, you can just pin his blueprints and you'll never have to make the long trip to visit this freaking guy ever again. But that's it. If you've been following along, once you jump through this last hoop, you'll finally have access to Professor Palin and his sweet, sweet thruster upgrades. And that means we're almost done with unlocking the high-level engineers. In the next chapter, we'll refit our Python for mining and we'll make another boatload of credits as we unlock Celine Jean, the armor and hull reinforcing machine. But until then, good hunting, Commanders.
Now be released from manual control. Mr. Dextra thanks you for your cooperation. You will now be released from manual control. Mr. Dextra thanks you for your cooperation.